Hello, this is Jessica Beckwith and Biology 100 for Brescia University, and the topic I've chosen about relevant biology issues today is climate change. And first, I'm going to talk about how climate change has been affected over the years, and then we're going to talk about the solutions. So, basically, the biggest thing that I believe has affected, and according to research, that has affected climate change is pollution. And this started mainly in the Industrial Revolution when, we started basically, technology started advancing in our society, and we've become more and more reliant upon it. So we think about the emissions that were caused, in the late 1800s during the Industrial Revolution by like coal and other fuels that were used in that process to make operations possible in factories. And while this technological revolution was profitable for society and really changed the face of commerce and business and just the way American society operates and other societies as well, it caused a lot of problems. So when there are gas and fuel emissions being burned into the atmosphere, it literally will thin the layer of the atmosphere. And this includes the ozone. Now, as the ozone thins out, that means that the sun is going to have more access to us and to our bodies, to our earth, to the soil and how it affects that, and the water. There's already been significant changes in glaciers. We talk about global warming. Global warming was a big topic in politics in like the late 90s and early 2000s, and that's kind of when people started really paying attention to it, because I think everybody's noticed how in the winter we'll have a lot warmer days, and I know here in the South and where I live anyways, that's how it is we'll have an unusually warm winter, whereas I remember when I was younger, winters were a lot more cold, and there wasn't, these 50-degree days popping up, and it's just really kind of strange. And then, like I said, the glaciers have been shrinking, and when the sun has a harsher effect on us, that's what causes more droughts. That's what causes more forest fires. A lot of us on the national news every year can watch the forest fires and see how it's affecting us specifically in California. And other things that are affecting climate change are pollution. The use of plastics has become more prevalent in the past 50 and 60 years. And our government, our local governments, and our national government does not require proper disposal of plastics. And because we use so many plastics on a daily basis, so if, say, in Florida, I used to live in Florida, we were required in Jacksonville and Duval County to separate not only recyclables, but we had to separate it based on metal, glass, plastic, and then waste. And I think that a lot more waste is compostable than most people will take the time to do. And then a lot of people don't want to be bothered with recycling because it costs more. Like, it costs you a whole nother trash can. But if it was required and it wasn't based on cost, then more people would do it. And if you got a fine for just bagging all your trash together and putting it in the trash, then there wouldn't be all these pile-ups of just waste. If you've ever seen a landfill, it's literally just a pile of dirt with a whole bunch of crap in it. Excuse my language. But so I think that's affecting it. So I think the solutions, I don't want to focus too much on the problems. I think we all understand that climate change is a big problem. A solution that I can think of is proper disposal of waste, as I mentioned. If local and even state and federal governments could require us to be more green, and not based on, oh, it's a liberal issue, it's a conservative issue. No, it's just a real issue that's affecting our earth. And, if all the plastics could get melted down and reused, because there's a statistic that says that of all, we have a lot of people who recycle, but only like 95% of the plastics on the planet are actually being recycled. They're just being disposed of. And also, another thing that affects is pollution. So, if we could just tackle the issue of pollution, recently there's been Elon Musk has come up with an electric car, and if those could, hopefully over time will, but if they could become more affordable and accessible, and the charging stations be more accessible, then I know that would reduce a lot of gas emissions in the atmosphere. Think about the way that our atmosphere could change if most people were driving an electric car. And if we could find another energy source, that would be great, other than just burning coal or, the things that are being used for burning that affect our atmosphere. So basically, sustainable energy. Another thing we could do is a sustainable community. Sustainable communities are becoming a lot more popular. I have a friend who talks about how if people can dig close enough to the earth and use proper insulators like rubber tires and things like that, you can actually build a sustainable home out of rubber that uses the heat from the core of the earth to heat their home and solar panels. And that's amazing. And what's cool about, I live near the beach, so people are very green here. You can get fines for putting your trash, for putting a cigarette butt on the beach. Like, people are really great about that here. And we have a program at our local community college that actually teaches people like how to build sustainable communities. It's amazing. And I just wish there was more things like that. And in South Carolina, the state of South Carolina has outlawed plastic bags because it's a coastal state. I'm on the East Coast, and we're a lot more affected by things like this, and we see our wildlife a lot more affected by this. And just think about that. Plastic bags outlawed. Like, you can't use them. You have to use paper bags, or you have to bring in your own bag, your own reusable bag to the grocery store. Like, there's so many simple ways that if we could just reprogram our brains and just get used to doing things a different way, that would really help our environment. And I I wish we could all just kind of collectively as a society, but like change that. But, as we know, things start on an individual basis. Social issues, political issues, even issues like this can be affected by each person or a community of people, or in some cases, the whole state, and laws being enacted to make these changes to help keep our planet healthy, for lack of a better term. So maybe think about that the next time we use plastic bags, or either that, if you're going to use plastic bags, that's okay. At least recycle them or reuse them in your own house for other things. And I know I put my cat litter in a plastic bag, the large bag of plastic bags I have underneath my underneath my kitchen cabinet. So anyways, just some things to think about, and hopefully maybe we can over time become a planet that once again is caring about our environment. And yeah, thank you for letting me share, and I hope you all enjoy and identify with some of the things I said.